May I invite the inaugural lecture laureate in waiting, Professor Sam Ngozi Agu, to please stand. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I am Alonu Bondegiri. Mr. Vice Chancellor, we've been told that the inaugural lecturer will talk about a certain idol. But I also want to introduce him as an idol of the moment. So this is a citation on Professor Samuel Ngozi Agu on the occasion of his presentation of the 67th inaugural lecture of Abia State University. It is the Vice Chancellor's sustained routine to the world and the caliber of academics who have distinguished themselves creditably in teaching, research, and community development. I present to this great assemblage of staff, students, and individuals from all walks of life, yet another brilliant, resourceful, and humane academic, a model of true gentleman, a critical thinker and philosopher, Professor Sam Ngozi Agu. In Ame Umamata Autonomous Community in the Selangwa North Local Government area of Abia State. As his name reflects, the young Samuel was a miracle child, long-awaited dream come true for his parents, the late Chancellor and Mrs. Robert Emelogu Agu, coming when his parents, especially his mother, had given up every hope on having another child. Professor Samuel Agu had his primary education at the Urban School 2, Umuahia, Man Street Primary School, Owerri, and Ahia Boguela Community Primary School, Ngugu, Iselangwa Local Government area. He did his post-primary education at Secondary Technical School, Ngugu, and later moved to Government College, Owerri, where he obtained a higher school advanced level certificate. With the burning desire for education, he proceeded to the University of Ibadan, where he obtained a second-class honors upper division, and upon his graduation from the university and serving his compulsory one-year National Youth Service Corps program in Public Affairs Services Department of the Port Harcourt Refining Company, Alesa Eleme, a subsidiary of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, he joined the Singwa Community Bank as its General Services and Marketing Officer in 1993, and left in 1996 to join the services of Abia State University as graduate assistant. He earned his master's and doctorate degree at the University of Port Harcourt, specializing in social and political philosophy. It is the truth so evident that our inaugural lecturer today is not an ordinary philosopher. He is a certified professional one, obtaining a postgraduate certificate on mediation and democratic dialogue from the Central European University, Budapest, India, and a professional certificate on mediation and democratic dialogue from the Benjamin Cardozo and Hamline University Schools of Law and American Bar Association. From 1996 to date, he has engaged in teaching, research, and community services as a lecturer in philosophy, logic, and philosophic thought at the Abia State University. He has presented papers at several national and international conferences and workshops, as well as written 7 books, co-authored 2, and contributed over 30 articles in university research books and journals. These culminated in his being found worthy of promotion to the apex and enviable rank of professor in 2017. Distinguished Chairman, it is worthy of note that the inaugural lecturer for today has also devoted his time and experience in the area of community service. In the university, Professor Sam Ago has served in many panels of investigation as member and or chairman, including member University Panel on Examination Misconduct, member University Committee on Improving Internally Generated Revenue, member Revision of Academic Regulations of the University, member Investigative Panel on Stealing of Diesel from Absu Plant House, chairman Investigative Panel on Stealing Phone, Chairman Committee on Generating Memorandum of Understanding for Absu Bakery. As a result of his academic and administrative dexterity, Professor Samuel Ago was appointed Director, University Business Resource Center, 2015 to 2019, a position he employed his expertise in developing a one-year entrepreneurial program for all second-year students of Abia State University, which equipped them with vocational and practical skills of their choice, as well as entrepreneurial skill to enable them to transform these vocations into income-yielding, job-creating, profitable, and sustainable business outfits. He has also served as Director of University Examination Center. Outside Abia State University, Professor Sam Agu has served as Technical Reviewer in Philosophy by the National Universities Commission for the ongoing review of the transition from the Benchmark Minimum Academic Standard, BMAS, to Core Curriculum Minimum Academic Standard, CMAS, by all universities in Nigeria. Desk Officer for the Education for Employment E4E of the Abia State Government, External Assessor, Rivers State University, Visiting Lecturer, Federal University Otuoke, Returning Officer for Aba South in the December 2016 local government election conducted by the Abia State Independent Electoral Commission. Member Abia State Scholarship Board. Returning Officer for Bende local government in the December 2020 local government election conducted also by the Abia State Independent Electoral Commission. A devout Catholic and Knight of St. John International, Professor Samuel Ngozi is happily married to Lady Blessing Ago, and their union is blessed with exemplary children. Mr. Vice Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, a group of students of General Studies, GST, in Philosophy and Logic in this university once asked a teacher of philosophy the meaning of philosophy. He answered, philosophy is thinking upon thinking upon thinking. So put on your thinking caps and listen to the great thinker, the great teacher, and the great philosopher king. In the mode of Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, and Cicero, listen to the international mediator, peace bearer, and arbitrator, Professor Samuel Ngozi Agu, as he reflects and briefs us on a philosophical inquiry into the idol of our age. Have a great time.
the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Digital Registrar, the Chancellor of the Bursar, Digital Librarian, Deans of Faculties, Directors, Heads of Departments, distinguished professors, at least I've seen one is here today. Is the laws of chiefs, cabinet chiefs, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to this special day, a day as I'm given to me by the special grace of the university, headed by our dear Vice Chancellor, Professor Maswell Ogulu, to talk to the world some of the things, part of the things we have been doing at the university. Let me start first by acknowledging some of the people, because it's not possible to acknowledge everybody, who have contributed in different ways, in making me what I am today. In a special way, I deeply appreciate the visitor to Abia State University and Governor of Abia State, His Excellency Okezie Victor PhD, the scholar in governance, for his candor, peaceful disposition, and responsive leadership. These leadership qualities have not only endeared him to all men and women of goodwill, irrespective of their political and sectional backgrounds, but guaranteed appreciable peace, stability, and progress in our dear state Abia. In the same vein, I commend our Royal Vice Chancellor, distinguished Professor Maswell Ogulu, for following the footsteps of the visitor in his democratic, open, and peaceful leadership qualities. The only thing he has demanded of us, and which he deserves to guarantee maximum wellness for all and sundry, is stable academic environment. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, it is not only in the interest of both staff and students, but the society, that we have an uninterrupted academic environment. Hence, the resolution to accede to your demands. May I also commend members of management for the able way they have assisted you in running the university. My elder brother and veteran unionist, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, distinguished Professor Ogunwa, a friend and another veteran unionist, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, of course, today is unavailable absent, distinguished Professor Godwin Emetu, our digital registrar, Dr. Acho Elendo, our very experienced Chancellor of Desaka, Eda Chuks Vaimo, and the University Librarian, distinguished Professor Udomo Kosha. I equally commend members of the Governing Council of the University, heavily led by Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council, Chief Mba Okoronkwo Okariwo. Of course, I also appreciate the contributions of former Vice Chancellors in making the university what it is today, their contributions in the growth and progress of the university. I start with Professor Ikone, who was a pragmatic, purposeful, and courageous leader and administrator, who, for the first time in the history of the university, came well prepared with a vision. Our story must change, which he used to transform the university into a digital, bigger, and more visible university with many society and industry-based courses and programs. Little wonder his successor in office, Professor Maswell Ogulu, chose to sustain and consolidate the trajectory of positive changes and transformations initiated by Professor Ikone. Professor Ikone's predecessor in office, Professor Buago, was an open and democratic leader. Professor Mpagomba was a man of the people who improved the environmental landscape of the university and attempted to reform the academic assessment methods with the establishment of the University Examination Center. Of course, that place today is where the Vice Chancellor has found me worthy to head. So I thank you, sir. Professor Kamego was an unassuming, straight and frugal administrator who did his best to leave behind a Soviet university. Professor Igwe was a good leader and purposeful administrator. I really appreciate the pioneering efforts of Professors MJC and GM Ngozi in bequeathing a viable university to their successors in office. I am very proud of and indebted to Professor N.S. Ojukwu, SAN, in many ways. First, he facilitated my journey to Iowa State University as a graduate assistant. I did not know him from Adam. A brother and friend, President George Esquire, who was then a student of Iowa State University, informed me that their faculty was in need of a lecturer in logic, following the departure of the then lecturer, Reverend Father Philip Ogbonna, to Rome for further studies. As I then, as the orator told you, I was looking at a community bank with second class upper division in philosophy and very, very good in logic and indicated interest in the job. He informed the registrar, Professor Ojukwu, who requested that I write an application. Apart from facilitating my entry into the university, he was also a mentor. He encouraged us, not only me, all of us who came in during his tenure at the dean of the faculty, including Professor Erugo, Professor Chukwumeze, Innocent Koroye, and C.K. Wampo and others. So I thank him very much. May I also appreciate the Dean Faculty of Law is Professor Zimbabwe, a professor and former deans, Professor Ostese, Umozurike of blessed memories, Emu Sam Erugo, as well as Mpabuko of blessed memory. I use them to identify with all the lecturers and colleagues in the Faculty of Law. I've seen here today Aglo Kore, I've seen Professor Nebu, I've seen Dr. Steve Amanamiro. I thank all of you for being very good colleagues and friends. I also acknowledge my colleagues in other faculties, especially my colleagues in departments of philosophy and religious studies. I start with our HOD, Father Bartlome Nemedo. Father, I hope you're here. Okay. All right. My HOD. Okay. Father Bartlome. Then Professor Okereke, Doctors Aloy Dimba, Omoka. Then, of course, and others, including younger colleagues, Emomekra, my younger colleague, and Ebo assistant, then Chioma and Kate, and other members of the department. Also, in a special way, thank my dean, Faculty of Humanities, who, on account of other engagements, is not here today, Professor Lady, Miss Lady, Professor Lady Roslyn Ndimele, and other members of the Faculty of Humanities at the State University. I thank my colleagues, and there are too many of you, especially senior colleagues. Professor Ebok is there. I've seen, Professor Ebo is there, and a good number of, there are too many of you to mention everybody here. Of course, you are all recognized and, and acknowledged in the paper. In a special way, I'm grateful to Professor J.C. Igwe, the Dean Faculty of Physical Sciences. Of course, I call him the Field Marshal, Dr. Dick Uduma, Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, Osia Mama, Amadi Kobobo, Deborah Mba, NODP, Professor Ebo. And of course, my friends, other friends, professors, Osama Wokosha. He calls himself day prof. I tell you, I used to tell him that I want to day prof for Omutakari, I want to document. Professor Jenny Oguna, Osubo, Akachu Meni, Jen Chima, Gazelle Bada, my friend, very good, my special friends of mine, Zonyo Ebo, David Chikeze, Kate Ndokoba, Lawrence Chibu, Ben Afamebo, Kanayo, okay, of course, to me, I mean, the rest, they are all recognized and well acknowledged in the paper. The support and encouragement I receive from colleagues in other universities are also quite, tremendous. Of course, my former teachers, I.T. Kokolo, late Mosana Francis Adebo, Oti Oladebo, and Owolabi, and so on and so forth, the University of Ibadan. I also remember and acknowledge my friends from the Michael Opara, University of Agriculture, we do have Christopher Okoro, Engineer Joseph Ibu, and others of the university, those of the University, Federal University of Toke, Professor Okeke, formerly of ABSU, Dr. Socrates Ebo, Dr. Nkoli, Mark Pepo Jaja, and so on. And then of the University of Port Harcourt, SI Professors, SI Dodd, CSO, Boniface Wigwe, Victor Noka, Francis Minima, Nokia Karesi, Andrew Efemini of blessed memory, Doctors Ishmael, and Professor Mbete, and so on and so forth. They are all well, acknowledged. I also thank my former teachers. I hope Sir Zach, and he was here today. He taught me in secondary school, at Mbuku Secondary Technical School, and I also taught his own children at the university. All right. The first daughter, Ngomani, and he is a lawyer. He's also his son, Ukoma. I think Ukoma is here. Okay, maybe he's on his way. Good. I also thank chairman and members of Abia State Scholarship Board. They'll be led by His Excellency Chief Ambassador Empire Kano. And so Empire Kano and other members of the board. Of course, special friends. I also thank them, Honorable Prince Christopher Remado, Chief Erondo Junior Erondo Igudu, ACB Ambassador, Ike Ayatwa Hansen Amici, Abacha Jinjong Sibe, Yamao Mobe, Charles Obona, Wanchuka and others, CS Pimiko Bani, ADC, Yama Makama, CS Makama, and others. They are all well recognized. I'm equally indebted to members of the following clubs and organizations: Organizing the Worldwide Rotary International Bankers Football Club of Aba, Abia Constitutional Advancement Forum, Osonsungwa, Ngwa Advancement Initiative, Omunabike, and Enyimba Forum. Let me also thank members and the president and members of Omunabike, the president and members of Bankers FC, the president and members of Ngwa Advancement Initiative, led by Mr. President, High Chief Chinatu Jogu PhD, and other members of the association. Their names are already said here. Time will not permit me to go through the entire list. My friends in Rotary are also well acknowledged. My frank gratitude also goes to the parish priest, president and past of St. Mary's Catholic Church, starting with the very Reverend Father Joseph Ason Kangonye, PhD. Father, thank you very much. Stephen Ezema, Anthony Menihu, late Mr. Ayalabi, including those of St. Mary's Catholic Parish, Amebu, Reverend Fathers Richard Ogogo, Paulinus Machuku, and so on and so forth. Of course, my home parish, the parish priest of my home parish, Reverend Father Richard Ogogo, unfortunately he's not here today. He lost his, I think his brother, and he went home for the burial of younger brother. That's why he's not here today. The students upon the president of Saint of St. John's International, Professor Remy Uche, brothers and sisters of the ancient order of Knight of St. John's International, are very well appreciated, especially my squad mates in Command 445, CKC Aba, CKC, Sir Joseph Mako, Frank Ogoke, Christian Ibu, Joseph Igbilo, Henry Dike, and Jasper Obibu. My friends in Road and Inner Circle of Friends, University of Ibadan, are also well acknowledged. I am deeply appreciative of friends who organize themselves into various committees to help to facilitate this event today. Sir Oyuchu, Dr. Haglo Kore, Sir Skelechi Mbaba, Ndubisu Ezemogu, Chief Fancy Namechi Abacha Bob Abraham, Nicholas Machu, Professor Judy Iwe, Aloy Dimba, Emmanuel Mekara, Obino Former, Chris Okoro, Ikechukwe Chetan, Julius Njigonye, Abu Joshua, Joe, Igbo, Engineer Igbo, Pius Ekeleme, Chris Abba, and so on. So there are too many of you. I thank all of you very much. Special thanks to Yanachua Gamba, Rizna Abajo, and Dr. Vincent for going through, helping to go through the work. And of course, my ICT guru, Ken Enema, who helped to put this work into PowerPoint. And of course, he's also here to make sure that everything goes on well. So Ken, I thank you very much. I thank the director of ICS, especially Dr. Nnamdi, okay? And where is it? For generously, assisting me with the staff on putting this place in order for this program. Of course, members of the Directorate of Business Resource Center, those who work with me, who helped me to set up the place, to make it functional, because the place was moribund from around 2005 when it was established until 2015 when Prosecutor assumed office and made up his mind to make it functional. I thanked the staff, members of staff for that place, that John Omaboso Chukuma, Friday evening, Christian Abwe, Esenobo, Tochukoha, and so on. Of course, there are too many of you there, we are all listed here. I also thank the resource persons who have been helping to train us, students in vocational skills. I also deeply appreciate all members of the family of late Chief Nathan Nwogu of Ayobogba for providing me an accommodating and conducive environment for growth and development. Of course, we are always say you have seen Sir and Lady James Nwogu, Dr. and Mrs. Nadu, Lady Peace, James Nwogu, Sir Lolo, Chief and Lord of Kochugu, Nathaniel, Oliver Nathaniel Nwogu, Mr. and Mrs. Shigwen Nwogu, Yobuchi Nwogu, Chairman Azubike Chebozo Nwogu, and so on. I also thank the good people of Amegbu Mamatan, especially my brothers, my immediate elder brother, Raymond, Pastor Raymond Shedi Ago, which is now a pastor, so I don't know whether to still call him the name we used to use. His kind of in those days, Ochesra the Rasta. It's not a reference, so I have to be careful. Augustine Uchiago and their families, my sisters Charity, Monica, Chiwende, and Veronica and their families, as well as Chinedu Abba Chichi, Comrade Chigoze Mark, Prince Chigoze Mark, Honorable Machidadi George, Honorable Mrs. C.J. Wobiri, Secretary Number North LGA, Sunday the Blaze Okese, Victor, and so on and so forth. I mean, of course, you are all well acknowledged, and your names are listed here. The good people of Ayabogwela, okay? I mean, that I was able to stay in the family of, I was raised up in the family of late Chief Nathaniel Nwogu, well, because also the people of Ayabogwela received me. Of course, we can see today. The Vice Chancellor thought I am from Ayabogwela because of the way the cabinet of Ese Uku of Ngugu, the cabinet is quite fully represented. All right, that's why you thought I'm from Ayabogwela. So I thank all of you here today. Thank you. Good. My journey to this place, and in fact, my presence here today is traceable to the fact that God had gone to the persistent, persevering, and relenting supplications of my late parents, Councillor Robert Emelugago and Mrs. Luciago, Niwajara, and gave it to them. So I thank God for acting to their prayers and thank them for being my parents. I also thank them for making me a sibling to my elder sister, Lady Helen Niago. Without her and her late husband, Sir Samuel Menengo, whom my parents named me after, I will not be here today. I do not think I was up to 3 years. Thank you. Yes. I don't think I was up to 3 years when they took, raised, and trained me from infancy through the war, primary and secondary schools up to the university. They are the fundamental and primary reasons why I am here today. So they, more than any other person, deserve my utmost gratitude, and I profoundly thank them. I equally thank God for blessing me with loving and supportive brothers and sisters and their families. Sir and Lady Obunawogu, Engineer Sir and Lady Obinawogu, Sir and Lady Ezakolanwogu, Elder and Mrs. Yanacha Bamba, Mrs. Chinemeremto Niwogu and her husband Chetachi Ndo, Mr. and Mrs. Uche Wogu, as well as Mr. and Mrs. Obinna Okomana. Of course, Uche came all the way to, from London to witness this lecture. I think he's on his way. Right. I also thank my in-laws in a very special way. Late Elder Paul Mwachugualo, Mrs. Elizabeth Paul Mwachugu, Uche Chiagozo Chimobi and Nicholas Mwachugu and their families. Mr. and Mrs. Chinonye Ejiba, Victor Azumana, and so on. Of course, their names are all listed here. I also thank, in a very special way, my good friend, my very good friend, right from Government College Owerri. We met at Government College Owerri. In those days, he used to be Prince Goodluck, but today he's Eze, His Royal Majesty Eze Goodluck, PhD. You're welcome. We met at Government College Owerri. From Government College Owerri, we also went to University of Ibadan together. Today, he came all the way from Lagos to be part of this program. I welcome you. Finally, I'm profoundly indebted to my dear wife and children for their immense love, understanding, sacrifices, and support. They are in 1,001 ways my pillar of hope, confidence, and courage. Lady Blessing Chinyere Ago is not only my dear loving and caring wife. She's my all-round pragmatic and indefatigable organizer and manager. The boys and the girl, I love you. Ugonna, Uchenna Ago, Godadi, Ikechukwu Robert Ago, Ikedadi, Chimeno Zoma Ago, Eidadi, and Nena Mesoma Chi Ago, Nedadi. Yes, my love for you all, of course, it's not unconditional. Of course, it's not unconditional, right? But it's conditionally imperative. Hence, it is not for free. Of course, it's not for free. And should not be taken for granted. Yes. You have to nourish, reciprocate, and merit it with hard work, discipline, and commitment to a bright future. If I didn't commit myself to a bright future, I don't think I'll be here today. So the voice is caught. Finally, in acknowledgements, I deeply appreciate and thank all my students, past and present, for not only being the springboard or the gadfly and source of inspiration for teaching and research. I'm equally appreciative for our dear country, Nigeria, beloved state, Abia, and the university for providing me an environment, though not ideal, but enabling enough to live, teach, learn, research, and render social and ancillary services to humanity. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my lords, temporal and spiritual. Yeah, let's get to the subject matter of today. The topic we have come to look at is a philosophical inquiry into the idea of our age. Of course, it's shorter, but fully. The full topic, when, of course I have to let you know it, is perfecting cultural belief, a philosophical inquiry into the idol of our age. Background to the lecture. Between 2006 and 2009, a self-acclaimed witch hunter nicknamed Otto emerged and virtually had a cult followership in England. He tantalized and hypnotized many people with his witch hunting antics. In a different but related scenario, sometime in 2009, I lost my immediate elder brother, my childhood hero, to a mere bicycle accident. He was my childhood hero because he was a very good, skillful footballer. He used to play both legs, but I could only play one leg, so it was, I idolized him so much. I lost him to mere bicycle accident. With no visible injuries. He died of a brain, he was diagnosed to have died of a brain injury when he fell awkwardly and hit his head on the ground, on the road. While I accepted the accident and the cause of his death, many people have family Umama that believed it was the handiwork of some evil spirit. These two scenarios are just two of the many manifestations of the leading idol ravaging our society today. The two phenomenon, the externalization of the monetization of my brother's death from an ordinary bicycle accident and similar occurrences did not just happen. They are brought about by certain pre-existing conditions. The lecture, what we are going to discuss today, this lecture we are into today, revolves around the role of philosophy as a critical discourse. The role of philosophy in detecting and grappling with one of the perennial and endemic problems of our age, the culture of belief. What is an idol? Of course, people are talking about idol today. Today, you know what I mean by idol. What is pervading culture of belief? Why does it constitute the idol of our age? What are the germane conditions? What are the main conditions for it? What is philosophy? To what extent can philosophy help in grappling with them? Justification of the lecture. Philosophy plays a crucial role in distinguishing appearance from reality, made from facts, by establishing norms, rules, and laws of thought. This lecture has three main objectives. There are three things we learn today. Three main objectives we will achieve in this lecture today. One is to outline the meaning and nature of philosophical inquiry as a normative discourse. Secondly, to analyze the meaning, causes, and features of the idea of our age, pervasive culture of belief, using the Tosaga and massacre accident scenarios as examples. And three, to provide solutions to pervasive culture of belief using philosophical norms of thought. Using the Tosaga and massacre incident for illustration, the lecture reveals that they are based on false and misleading epistemological foundation, culture of belief. To solve this problem is to commence institutionalizing a culture of inquiry. The nature of philosophical inquiry. In all fields of rational inquiry, the primary aim is to solve problems that confront human beings. If there are no problems, we will not be here. There will be no university. It is this problem that make human beings to look for ways of solving them. And in looking for ways of solving them, they try to acquire skills and knowledge with which to solve these problems. Because without the skills and knowledge, problems will not be solved. So, for example, if there were no legal problems, would there be lawyers? If there were no educational problems, would there be universities and secondary schools and primary schools? Good. So, it is because of these problems that the lawyer is trained to acquire legal knowledge and skills, that the doctor is trained to acquire medical knowledge and skills with which to solve these what? Problems. So, that's why I'm going to look at them today and use them to pass on to you some what philosophy is all about, philosophical methods of inquiry, and some other knowledge you're going to acquire today. Philosophy is a normative, critical, and transcendental discourse. Philosophy is normative because it provides rules, norms, and laws of thought for distinguishing knowledge from pseudo-knowledge, for assessing claims to knowledge, to find out whether they are true or what? False. Hence, philosophy is also open and inquisitive discourse. Hence, in philosophy, when one is putting forward a thesis, we urge him, we expect him to state his case clearly, to tell us the reasons for his case, the claim he is making. We expect him to be prepared to change his view, and ourselves prepared to change ours according to evidence. The skeptical nature of philosophy. Philosophers generally have a skeptical approach to knowledge, especially claims to absolute knowledge of societal and natural events and processes. The experiences abound of innumerable instances where mere appearances were made mistaken for knowledge. Philosophy is also theoretical and analytical in nature. It provides a model. Theoretically, philosophy provides a model for comprehending and interpreting reality. Analytically, philosophy analyzes each subject of inquiry by breaking them into fundamental units for proper understanding, so that people can be able to understand them. Philosophy and the quest for knowledge. Philosophy is a knowledge-centered discourse. A epistemological branch of philosophy that studies the meaning, nature, sources, scope, and possibility of knowledge. Of course, we can ask what is the importance of knowledge. Of course. Onye nwanyị ọ dị anyị mkpa o, onye nwanyị anyị na-arịọ gị ka inye anyị amamihe dị anyị mkpa o. Can we now doubt the importance of knowledge? Of course, you remember that when God asked Solomon what to request for anything that you did for him, what did Solomon ask for? Knowledge and what? Wisdom. That's why philosophy focuses on what? Knowledge. So the question is, knowledge is defined as justified through belief. In other words, for you to have knowledge, there are three conditions that must be what? Met. First, you must have a belief. For example, if you did not believe that this lecture will be here today, will it be here today? Good. But and of course, that belief must be true. If you must have a belief, and the belief must be what? True. Because you believe that this lecture will be here today, and this belief is true. That's why you are what? Here. Good. And of course, if you have a belief and that belief is false, it cannot lead you to what? Knowledge. If you have believed that this lecture was for on 17th, was for 17th of May, okay, and you had come here on that day, will you have made the lecture? No. So false belief does not lead to what? Knowledge. That is why when you have a belief, the belief must be what? True. And of course, these are not the only two conditions, these two conditions. Thirdly, you must be justified in holding that what? Belief. It's one thing to have a true belief. It's another thing to be justified in holding on to belief. Until you can prove that that true belief, you can provide evidence for that true belief. Philosophers don't agree that you have knowledge, don't believe that you have knowledge. For example, I remember in primary school, alright, we used to recite the multiplication table when we were in primary 1. 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 times 3, 2 times 10, 20, 2 times 11, 2 times 12. Good. You see, when we crammed and we were reciting this multiplication table in primary school, of course we know we are holding true belief that 2 times 2 is what? 4. That's a true belief. But we did not have evidence. We couldn't offer any proof Now, if we are asked to prove that 2 times 2 is 4, we could not be able to do that at that level because we merely crammed them. At that level, we had to believe that 2 times 2 is 4, but we did not we could not, if you are asked to prove it, we don't have evidence for it. So we can't, at that level, we couldn't be said to have had what? Knowledge. Yes, for you to have knowledge, you must have a belief, the belief of truth, and you must be able to provide evidence what? For it, to prove that you have what? Knowledge. And that is knowledge and skepticism. Knowledge and skepticism. Due to the controversy surrounding the meaning, nature, certainty, ability of knowledge, some epistemologists argue that knowledge is not possible, that it's impossible for human beings to know anything at all. This form of skepticism is known as universal or global what? Skepticism. Yes, global or universal skepticism say that knowledge is not what? Possible. And of course, but then, universal skepticism is self-contradictory. Why is it self-contradictory? And it is self-contradictory in the sense that the global skeptic or universal skeptic claims that he knows one thing, that is what? That it is not possible to have what? Knowledge. If he knows that it's not possible to have knowledge, has he not proved that knowledge is possible? Because he says that he knows something, and that is that possible knowledge is not what? Possible. If that is the case, means that knowledge is what? Possible. Because he knows that knowledge is not what? Possible. So he has knowledge. Alright. So head of the universal skepticism is what? Self-contradictory and spurious. If knowledge is possible, then how can it be acquired? How can knowledge be acquired? In answer to this question, epistemologists came up with 2 diverse views, experience and reason, culminating in 2 major schools of thought, empiricism and rationalism. Empiricism asserts that knowledge is gained through sensory experiences. They believe that our understanding of the world is built on empirical evidence collected through our senses. That we use the eyes to see, use the ears to hear, use the skin to feel, the tongue for taste, the sweet, bitter and sweet taste, and so on and so forth. These are the sources of what? Knowledge. Now what empiricists say. Our ears provide knowledge of sound. Our eyes are allowed to perceive objects in terms of shape, color, height, size, and hence they say that seeing is what believing. That was one of the titles of inaugural lectures delivered here many years ago by late Professor Ichewot Ikonne. Of course, these things are not alien to all of us here. Debos have a name of when Debo say Ahunanye, it's not saying he's believing. So he was also a empiricist. Ahunanya what? Ekwe.